Hey everyone, welcome to the next part of my in-depth review of the new Dark Angel Codex. As always, my name is Jay. By the way, if you want to buy a Jay face shirt, anywhere.jay.spreadshirt.com. And in this video, I'll be going over the HQs. There's a bunch of them. Personally, I don't know. This again, a part of this review will be coming down to, is Dark Angels distinct and good enough to be taken instead of vanilla? And I find this is one of the areas where they kind of fall short. The HQs. But we'll be going over that in this section. To sum it all up, not much change in the HQs other than there was a lot of moving. There was some moving around. Azrael got moved from HQ to Lord of War, and all the command squads and stuff got moved from HQ to Elite. So that'll be in the next video. Yeah. So we'll start off with Belial. Belial is at 190 points. He was 190 before, so he didn't change. And as I said, in fact, to sum up the HQs in general, none of them changed in points cost other than the Tech Marine. Everyone else, same points cost as before. So Belial is 190 points, same as he was before. And for 190 points, he got an extra attack. He's now weapon skill 6. He's still weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 5, strength toughness 4, 3 wounds, initiative 5, 4 attacks. So he gets one more than the normal captain. And leadership 10, 2 up save. His war gear, Terminator armor, Storm Bolter, Iron Halo, Teleport Homer, which means that he doesn't scatter when he. Friendly composed entirely of models in Terminator armor do not scatter when they place within 6 inches of them. However, he has to be on the battlefield at the start of the same turn, which is extremely difficult now, because if he's in the formation, he'll have to be taken in this part as his own detachment. Basically, he has to be the inner circle guy, because if he's put in the Deathwing Redemption Force, he starts the game in reserve. So he's in reserve at the same time as everyone else, and Teleport Homer doesn't mean anything, unfortunately. So he's got to be in the inner circle. And on a side note as well, the one thing I was a little surprised was the inner circle is basically where most of the HQs in this section have to be taken. Other than the Battle Demi Company, where you choose between a Company Master and a Chaplain. Any other, like Azrael, Belial, Samuel, Company Master, Interrogator, Chaplain, or Librarian, or Ezekiel, or any character version of them, they all have to be taken in the inner circle, and you can only take 1 inner circle per Demi Company. Versus the Space Marines, where you can take 3 HQs per Demi Company if you want to take any of the named HQs, or you can actually take like 15 Librarians for every Demi Company because they're their formation. So in this one, if you want to take a Librarian, you can only take 1 Librarian per Demi Company taken. It's kind of weak in my opinion. You should be able to take 2 Librarians. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So Belial, back to Belial. Belial used to be one of my favorite HQs, primarily because he made Deathwing as troops. Doesn't do that anymore. His Warlord trait makes no sense. His Warlord trait is the Hunt, which used to be he gets an extra point of killing the opponent's Warlord in a challenge. Makes sense, because he's an aggressive person. He's leading the charge. But now his Warlord trait is he has precision shots, and in addition, his shooting attacks have ignore cover special rule. I don't know. To me, that doesn't make much sense. That's a really weak special rule or Warlord trait for Belial. Because Belial, he has 2 other options with Belial. He does his gun and sword, or I've seen a few people who like to run him with the Lightning Claws, and I personally prefer to run him with the Thunderhammer Storm Shield. So with the Thunderhammer Storm Shield, his Warlord trait is completely useless because he doesn't have a gun. So I don't really understand why, if 2 of the 3 versions of him don't have guns, and his normal version with a gun is just a Storm Bolter, why would they give him ignore cover? I don't know. Doesn't make much sense for a Warlord trait, personally, for him. His special rules, Deathwing. So as I mentioned, he's fearless and has hatred of Chaos Space Marines. Grim Resolve, which makes him stubborn. And of course, he can fire Overwatch a full ballistic skill if he has his gun. If this is part of the detachment. Otherwise, he overwatches at ballistic skill 2. He's an independent character. He is marked for Retribution, which he can reroll all failed to hit rolls in a challenge. That special rule makes sense for him. He should be in a challenge fighting. Ignores cover, makes no sense. And Tactical Precision. Belial and his unit do not scatter when arriving from Deep Strike, as they did in the previous one. So good stuff. That's Belial. He has the Relic of Caliban, which is a sword. Strength user, AP3, melee, Fleshbane, Master Crafted. So that's the two options that people like to run in between. I like Thunderhammer Storm Shield because it helps keep him alive with a Storm Shield, and he's Strength 8. So he's usually wounding everything on 2s, and it's AP2. Versus his AP3 sword, which just has melee, Fleshbane, and is Master Crafted. Up to you, you know. Most of them, either one are typically wounding on 2s. If you're up against a Wraith Knight, I guess this version will be better because it wounds on a 2 and is AP3. But against most things, I prefer the Thunderhammer Storm Shield combination, which makes his Warlord trait obsolete. And that's Belial. Samuel's up next, 200 points, same as he was before. And he is pretty much the same stat line as he was before. Weapons level 6, plus skill 5, strength 4, toughness 5 because he's on a bike. Weapon 3 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 3 up save. He's on a jet bike. Makes sense. And you may not include Samuel and Saberclaw in the same army. Makes sense. Wouldn't make, can't have them both. His war gear, bolt pistol, plasma cannon, twin-linked storm bolter, frag grenades, crack grenades, iron halo, teleport homer. His warlord trait is rapid maneuver, which makes sense for him. He gets an extra 3 inches to his maximum move distance when moving flat out, turbo boost, run, or charge distances. His special rules, Eternal Warrior, and he's also the only toughness 5 person, so he's pretty good. He's the only one that stayed alive, really, for Dark Angel leaders. Fearless, Grim Resolve, Hatred of Chaos Space Marines, Hit and Run, independent character, Raven Wing, which makes him reroll his Jinx saves. Scout, Skilled Rider, which gives him a 3-up Jinx save, rerollable. And Swift Vengeance. That's pretty awesome. So Swift Vengeance, once again, Samuel can fire up to 2 ranged weapons in the shooting phase. Makes sense. And his relic is the Relic of Caliban, is the Raven Sword. Belial's is called the Sword of Silence. Raven's Sword is Strength User AP2, melee, Master Crafted. So basically Samuel, for 200 points, is arguably the best HQ that the Dark Angels have access to. He's the best thing in the Codex as far as HQs, because Belial is a much weaker version of Lysander. Obviously much cheaper, but Saberclaw is up next, also for 200 points. So it used to be just you could take Saberclaw instead for the same cost. And Saberclaw is in a fast skimmer character vehicle, right? Makes sense. And Saberclaw's weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 5, armor 14, 14, 10, 2 hull points, warrior, twin-linked assault cannon, twin-linked heavy bolter, and an iron halo. Warlord trait, rapid maneuver again. Special rules, Deep Strike, Grim Resolve, Raven Wing, Scout, Skilled Rider, and he has the same Raven Sword. Except the Raven Sword, in this particular instance, at the end of the movement phase, nominate 1 enemy unit not locked in combat that this model has moved over in that turn. That unit takes D3 plus 1 hits, result at Strength 4, AP2. So he's good at killing Terminators. Really good at killing Terminators. Using random allocation. These hits have the Ignores Cover special rule, but do not benefit from any other model's other special rules. Against vehicles, these hits are resolved against the target's rear armor. So 6 to glance most of the time. So good stuff there. So that's Saberclaw. Up next we have the Interrogator Chaplain. Interrogator Chaplain is still 110 points. Didn't change. Weapon skill plus skill 5. Strength toughness 4. 3 wounds. Initiative 5. 3 attacks. Leadership 10. 3 up save. War gear, bolt pistol, Crozius Arcanum, frag grenades, crack grenades, Rosarius. Crozius Arcanum, for those who don't know, is a strength plus 2 AP4 melee concussive weapon. And the Rosarius confers a 4-up invulnerable save to him. Special rules, Deathwing, Fear, Grim Resolve, independent character, preferred enemy against Chaos Space Marines, and Zealot. You can take any of the weapons with melee weapons, ranged weapons, special issue war gear, relics of Caliban. You can take a Power Fist for 25 points. You can take a Space Marine bike. You get Terminator armor, and so forth. So A solid HQ choice. I think him in a Power Fist with the new model looks really awesome. As far as choices for HQ go, he's okay. Nothing too special, but you can give him Power Fist and he's pretty cool. You know? Up next with Asmodai, which is, he's the Master Interrogator Chaplain. So he's the Interrogator Chaplain on steroids, basically. He's cool. He's 140 points still. Weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 5. Strength toughness 4. 3 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 3 up save. War gear, bolt pistol, Crow's Use Arcanum. Frag grenades, crack grenades, Rosarius. Warlord traits the Hunt. Again, why does he have ignores cover? I don't know. He has a bolt pistol, but his gun ignores cover. Makes no sense to me. It's not these warlord traits do not seem to match well in a couple cases. Special rules: Deathwing, Fear, Grim Resolve, independent character, Master Repentance, which is if Asmodai slays the enemy warlord in a challenge, you immediately get D3 extra victory points. That should be the warlord trait. Preferred enemy against Chaos Space Marines and Zealot. His relic is the Blades of Reason. Strength user, AP dash, melee, instant death, specialist weapon. So it's AP dash. So your opponent has to fail a wound, but if he does, instant death. Cool. Up next, we have the Librarian. And if you really like Librarians, again, this is one of those guys that I'd recommend taking Vanilla Marines, because with the Vanilla Marines Codex, you can now take like 15 Librarians for every Demi company. It's insane. And the Demi, they have a cool formation where they can do some wacky psychic power shenanigans. This Codex, not so much. They do get their own psychic powers, which I went over in the previous video, which are pretty cool. Up to you. Librarian is 65 points, as it is in the previous Codex. Weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attacks, leadership 10, 3 up save. His war gear, bolt pistol, force weapon, frag grenades, crack grenades, psychic hood. Special rules: Deathwing, Grim Resolve, independent character, mastery level 1 psyker. You can upgrade to a mastery level 2 for 25 points. Pretty standard stuff. Access to range weapons, special issue war gear, relics of Caliban. Take a Space Marine Bike for 20 points. Take Terminator for 25. Librarian Terminator may take one of the following: a Stormbolter for 5, Combi Flamer for 10. Good stuff. Once again, cool stuff. You can only take 1 HQ for every Demi company outside of the Company Master or Chaplain. So if you want to do a Librarian, cool stuff. And then you can take Belial in the formation if you want. But Librarian, I don't know. To me, the problem is Dark Angels are going to have a problem with only 1 Librarian, Mastery level 2. You could get some psychic powers off, but if you go up against any anti-psyker army, Eldar, Grey Knights, Demons, you're not going to get any powers off. And then up next, Ezekiel, of course, the character Librarian. He's 145 points still. Weapon skill 5, strength toughness 4, 3 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 2 up save. Warrior, a mastercrafted bolt pistol, mastercrafted force sword, frag grenades, crack grenades, psychic hood. His warlord trait is Courage of the First Legion, which gives Fearless to all the guys with all the units within 12 inches of him. Special rules: Deathwing, Grim Resolve, independent character, and his Psyker Mastery level 3. So he's, I think he's bang for your buck, a great choice. If you want to take an HQ and you want to have a Psyker HQ, Ezekiel. 125 points is pretty good for a cheap level 3 guy. And he gets, he gets his old psychic power anyway, based on the fact that it's the Primaris. If you want to take the Interromancy powers. So he also has access to Demonology, Divination, Interromancy, Pyromancy, Telekinesis, and Telepathy. Same with the other Librarian. And his relic is the Book of Salvation, which all friendly models with the Dark Angels faction within 6 inches of Ezekiel get an extra +1 attack. So +1 attack, until the end of the phase. They used to give +1 weapon skill, but now it gives +1 attack. So slightly different. Both are beneficial. Good stuff. So you may want to stick him with a squad of Terminators if you have them, or even anything. Just +1 attacks, throw them into combat, have fun. Assault Marines would get like 4 attacks on the charge. Good stuff. Up next, Company Master, the generic HQ, which you have to have either him or your Chaplain for your Demi company. He is 90 points. Weapon skill 6, ballistic skill 5, strength toughness 4, 3 wounds, initiative 5, 3 attacks, leadership 10, 3 up save. War gear, bolt pistol, chain sword, frag grenades, crack grenades, iron halo. Special rules, Deathwing, Grim Resolve, independent character. You can replace a Chainsword with a Relic Blade with a Relic for 25 points. And Relic Blades are Strength +2, AP 1. Melee, Specialist Weapon, Unwieldy. I think it'd be worth taking. So then you become Strength 6, AP 1. You know, it goes Initiative 1, but still, it's pretty nasty. You take a Storm Shield for 15 points. Artificer Armor for 20. Probably worth it if you want to keep your guy alive. Take any of the melee, range weapons, special issue warrior weapons. May replace is can take Terminator Armor for 30 points. And you can take a Relic Blade with Terminator Armor for an additional 10. Good stuff there. So your general, cheap HQ. Again, you have to take him anyway, him or Chaplain, if you want to take a demi company. No choice. So choose whichever one you like better. And up next, Chaplain. Same, 90 points. Weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength toughness 4, 2 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attacks. Company Master is 3 wounds, yeah. Leadership 10, 3 up save. I personally prefer the Company Master over the Chaplain, if you want to take him. You know. War Gear, Bolt Pistol, Crozius Arcanum, Frag Grenades, Crack Grenades, Rosarius. Special rules, Grim Resolve, independent character, Zealot. And you can take a Marine Bike for 20 points, and has access to the other War Gear stuff. And then finally, we have the Tech Marine. 65 points. He's the only one that went up in cost. He used to be 50, but now he is 65. But there's a reason why. He got better, like the Space Marine Codex one. He is now Weapon Skill 4, Ballistic Skill 5, Strength 4, Toughness 4, 2 wounds. He used to only have 1. Initiative 4, 2 attacks, Leadership 9, 2 up save. You can also take Servitors, which are Weapon Skill, Ballistic Skill 3, Strength Toughness 3, 1 wound, Initiative 3, 1 attack, Leadership 8, 4 up save. The Tech Marine has a Bolt Pistol, Power Axe, Frag Grenades, Crack Grenades, and Servo Arms. Servitors have Servo Arms. Special rules, Tech Marine has Initial No Fear, Blessing of the Messiah, Bolter, Defenses, Grim Resolve, independent character. And you take a bike for 20 points, which is kind of fun. Him on a bike would be a lot of fun. You replace the Servo Armor with Servo Harness for 25 points, take up to 5 Servitors for 10 points each. And the Servitors can replace their Servo Arms with Heavy Bolters for 10, Multi-Melters for 10, Plasma Cannons for 10. And that's it. Those are the HQs. I had to go by quickly because there are a lot of HQs in this codex. So to sum up the HQs, they're okay. Again, if you love the HQs, most of them are not exclusive to this codex. Belial's okay. His Warlord trait makes no sense. Samuel is the best HQ, I argue, in the codex. Ezekiel's a good level 3 Psyker. But if you like Librarian, a Chaplain, you know, Company Master is very close to a Captain. Tech Marine, you may want to take the Vanilla Codex. Up to you. Because the Vanilla Codex, you can take a bunch of HQs, 3 HQs for every demi company, versus this Codex, 1 HQ for every demi company. And, yeah, I don't know. It's up to you. As I said, it is a Codex that people will bring on its own, but a lot of people may argue take Vanilla instead. And this is one of those sections that it's hard to define between. So, yeah, up to you. So thank you very much for watching this part. Leave a comment in the comment section down below what you think about the HQs. Am I wrong? Do you think the Warlord traits are good? Up to you. Yeah. What do you think? That's the important part. Let's do a discussion about Dark Angels and everything. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, I'll cover the next video. I'll go over the troops and dedicated transports. Until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting.